long periods of time without any breaks, especially for work or at home. So, if you are one of those, especially if you're a working mom and you have a busy schedule at home and a busy schedule at work, and you're one of those who sit for long meetings or travel a lot or sit in your office for long periods of time, you may have experienced some back pain while sitting. So, today I'm going to share with you some simple tips to help you with your back pain when you are sitting. Now, these include some tips for when you are sitting and some for when you are, the rest of the day when you're not actually sitting, but maybe at home or lying down. So, before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is, back and neck, and joint pains. And I do this by giving you simple exercises, easy lifestyle changes, some tips, tricks, hacks. And I also talk about some natural, non toxic products that have helped me in my own spinal and joint pain journey. Now, I do all of this by not taking away a big chunk of your time, but I give you solutions that fit into your daily life, into your existing daily schedule. All right, so without taking away more of your time, let's get back into the topic for today. So, the very first thing you want to do when you're sitting and you have pain, so basically, if you have back pain when you're sitting, is you could use a lumbar belt. Now, lumbar belts are commonly recommended by doctors if you have, say, a disc issue, or you had a surgery, or you have some nerve pains that are originating from your back. However, if you are one of those who sit for long durations and during that sitting, you need some additional support to the lumbar muscles, a support or a lumbar belt is a good idea. Now, there are many of them out there in the market. There is one that I use not for my regular sitting anymore because I have managed to get my back pain down to zero. That's another story for another day. But I have used lumbar support and in the past, and I do keep that lumbar support with me when I'm traveling for just in case. And I will leave a link to the one that I use. I mean, you could use any of them. There are a number of them out there in the market, but if you want one that is tried and tested, I will leave a link in a blog that I have written on the same topic as how you can stop your back pain when you're sitting. I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. For Instagram, the link to the blog will be in my bio in my profile. All right, so going back, you could use a lumbar belt for the duration that you're sitting so that you have some additional support to your back muscles. Secondly, when you're sitting, let's look at your sitting posture. Always sit back into your chair. Now, what happens is sometimes we're sitting a little ahead, as in we don't put our bottom all the way back at the, where the back of the seat meets this. Meets the backrest meets the seat of the chair, this angle here, your bottom should be touching that place. However, some of us sit more forwards in the chair. Then, after a while of sitting, when those back muscles get tired of holding up your body, especially if you have some sort of a back pain or problem in your back, then we tend to go back towards the chair. Once you go back, this is a sure shot way of getting into a rounded or slouch position. Like right now, I'm sitting back. When I lean back, my back is still straight. But if I was sitting forward, this would happen immediately as I lean back in my chair. So this, you can't see it here, but my back is actually rounded. So, sorry. So this is one thing that you need to sit back right into the chair. However, you also need to support your lumbar curve. Now, if this was your spine from the side, so this is your front of your body, this is the back of your body, and this is your chair here. So you see how the top and the bottom of the lumbar curve is supported. So this is a natural curve in your lumbar spine. However, the muscles which are in the deeper part of the curve do not get supported by a regular chair. You need to have either an ergonomic chair which has an inbuilt lumbar support, or you need to use another lumbar support on top of your regular office chair. A simple hack is to roll up a towel and put that in the curve of your back, but you probably don't want a towel on your back when you're sitting at work, or it can be cumbersome as it falls off, and every time you have to roll it up whenever you're sitting. So I have used lumbar support, that is a full backrest, and I've also used a lumbar roll, but not for my chair because this is an ergonomic chair, but in my car. I will again leave a link if you want to have a look at the one that I have used. The link will be in the blog, that I will leave a description in the comments in this video. All right, so that is another thing you can do. The third thing you can do is take a break. Yeah, it's as simple as that. So take a break from prolonged sitting. Now, you may say, hey, I'm in a meeting or I'm traveling, it's a nighttime flight, it's so many hours of, if you're one of those who don't sleep on the flight, it's so many hours of sitting on the flight, and I cannot just go walk around the whole flight every 20 minutes or 30 minutes or hour. So what you can do is you can uncross your legs. You can shuffle your weight from one side to the other. So basically shuffle your weight from one side of your bottom to the other. Or you could just move around a little bit in your chair. Just that little bit of movement also gives a chance for your spine to get offloaded from all that weight that is coming down on that spine. There has been a study that I have referred to this in my other videos, so you might have heard it before, but there's been a study that says that when you sit for longer than 20 minutes, there is a lot of stresses that build up on the disc. A disc is a structure present between your vertebrae, and it is quite an important one. So you might have heard of the term slip disc, where the disc basically moves out of its normal position. So it's quite a painful condition, and you basically you should not be sitting for more than 20 minutes, because the other structures around the spine and your joints also tend to get very stressed if you sit for very long periods of time. So try and move every 20 to 30 minutes. So these are some of the hacks you could use if you are not able to actually get up and move. Just looking at my notes here. Oh, yes. Another thing is this is applicable to when you're traveling as well. You can take these with you. Use a hot pack for your back if you are one of those who gets up with a stiff back in the morning. So if you say sat for long periods of time, you've had that niggle of back pain or a full-blown back pain throughout the day, you come back home, you sleep. When you get up in the morning, you are quite stiff in your back, then use a hot pack. Hot pack helps with muscle spasm, tightness, stiffness, etc. So, and if you are one of those who feel the soreness or the achiness in your back, then use a cold pack. This is mostly for people who feel that achiness or soreness in the back towards the end of the day. This could also be like, I knew somebody who used to feel the the achiness or the soreness, the tiredness in that back towards noon. So what I advised was that this person takes a cold pack to work, and then about noontime, use a cold pack and sit with a cold pack between them and the chair, so that your back gets the effect of that cold pack just for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you pop it back into the freezer for the next day. Or if you want to do that again in the evening before you leave for home. So a cold pack would help with that tired, achy feeling in the back. Now, how does a cold pack and a hot pack work? I have done detailed videos on this. If you want to know more, you can go to my YouTube channel and have a look there. Or you could go to YouTube, search my name, Swati Prakash, hot pack or cold pack, and you'll come up with these videos. You can have a look there. I'm not going to cover it here because then this video is going to get too long. All right, so the last point that I wanted to touch on is whenever you're sitting, try and have your feet firmly planted on the floor. What that means is, if this is your foot, okay, let's see. If this is your foot, this is the ball of your big toe, this is the ball of the little toe, and this is your heel, right? Have these 3 points placed on the floor. So most of us will sit with their feet tippy toe, like on the toes, but you do not plant your heels on the floor. Once you have these 3 points on the floor, this is known as the tripod of your foot, you will have an equal weight distribution on your feet. Once you have a stable base, obviously the rest of the body is also going to be stable. This is also applicable for standing, but right now we're talking about sitting. Now, if you do not do this, usually the stresses tend to build up and go up, travel up the chain from the ankle all the way up to your hip, pelvis, and your lower back. So that pull that you have, from the pelvis to the legs, and then the stresses that build up will tend to aggravate your back pain. So a simple point that you can do starting today, try and have that 3 points, the tripod on the floor for both your feet. It will also avoid any flat feet or any supinated feet problem. Or, I mean, problem as in from keeping your foot in such a way that you are putting more weight on the outer or the inner edge of your feet. All right, so these are the points that I wanted to cover. Now, as I said, I have written a blog with more details on this topic. And if you want to read that blog, you can have a look at that. I will leave a link in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my profile in my bio. Alrighty, if you have any questions, any comments for me, do let me know and I'll address them.